Happy anniversary to
And Papa!
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just when people thought the Duke and Duchess of Sussex could not possibly melt hearts any more than they already do, along comes another moment that completely takes over the internet, sends royal watchers into emotional overload, and reminds the entire world why this couple continues to dominate global conversation without even trying. Oh yes, the anniversary celebrations were absolutely glowing with warmth, affection, nostalgia, and the kind of romance that honestly feels straight out of a modern fairy tale. And the most beautiful part? None of it looked forced. None of it looked rehearsed. Everything felt genuine, natural, deeply personal, and incredibly touching. The atmosphere surrounding their anniversary instantly became electric the second those precious memories began surfacing online. Social media exploded. Fans could not stop talking. Supporters from every corner of the globe were celebrating alongside them as though the entire world had been invited into one giant love-filled family gathering. The joy was contagious. The happiness felt real. And honestly, when you see a couple still looking at each other with that same sparkle after everything they have endured publicly and privately, it hits differently. Because let us be honest for a second, this is not just another celebrity relationship. This is not some flashy publicity romance designed for magazine covers and staged headlines. No, this is a couple who have weathered storms that would have destroyed many others. They have stood through criticism, pressure, global attention, endless commentary, and unimaginable scrutiny, yet somehow they continue choosing each other over and over again. That is what makes their love story so magnetic. That is why people cannot stop watching. And that is exactly why this anniversary celebration touched so many hearts. And can we please talk about those sweet family moments? Because the internet absolutely lost it when the adorable voices of little Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet could be heard celebrating their mama and papa. Oh my goodness, the excitement in their voices was enough to make anyone emotional. There is something so heartwarming about hearing children genuinely happy for their parents. It was innocent, joyful, playful, and completely authentic. Those tiny voices carried so much love that people online instantly began saying the Sussex family radiates warmth in a way that feels refreshingly human. The beautiful thing about Harry and Meghan is that they have consistently tried to create a life centered around love, peace, emotional safety, and family connection. And moments like these give the public tiny glimpses into the life they have worked so hard to build away from all the chaos. That laughter, those excited little reactions, that happiness floating through the videos, none of it can be manufactured. It comes from a home filled with affection. And then came the detail that completely sent fans over the edge emotionally: the penguin gift. Oh yes, the penguin story resurfaced and suddenly everyone was collectively screaming from excitement because it reminded people just how adorable Harry and Meghan were from the very beginning. Back when they were dating secretly, when the world barely knew the full story yet, they once wore penguin costumes together. Just imagine that for a second. A prince and the woman who would become his wife, dressed as penguins, laughing together, enjoying each other's company in the most carefree and playful way imaginable. That tiny memory says so much about their relationship. Beneath all the royal titles, media storms, and public attention are simply two people who genuinely enjoy being together. Two people who laugh together. Two people who are playful with one another. Two people who clearly built their foundation on friendship and emotional closeness before anything else. The penguin gift was not just a random anniversary surprise. It symbolized history, memories, intimacy, private jokes, and the journey they have shared together from the beginning. And honestly, people love seeing that side of them because it makes their relationship feel real. In a world where many public figures appear distant, overly polished, Harry and Meghan often show moments that feel relatable. It is the laughter, it is the warmth, it is the small sentimental gestures. That is what makes people emotionally invested in them. But then came the moment that truly stopped everyone in their tracks. the handwritten message from the British Airways family. Oh, wow. That note absolutely melted hearts across social media. It was classy, emotional, thoughtful, and filled with sincere affection. There is something incredibly powerful about handwritten messages in a digital age where everything usually feels rushed and impersonal. Seeing an entire crew take time to write heartfelt wishes for Harry and Meghan created such an emotional impact online. The words wishing them a wonderful wedding anniversary carried so much warmth, but it was the energy behind the message that truly stood out. It felt personal. It felt meaningful. And seeing multiple signatures covering the card gave the impression of a team genuinely wanting to shower the couple with kindness and appreciation. People were especially emotional because airline crews interact with countless individuals every single year. They meet celebrities, politicians, royals, business figures, and public personalities all the time. So when a team goes out of its way to create a heartfelt anniversary message like that, it speaks volumes about the impression Harry and Meghan must have left on them personally. And this is something supporters of the Sussexes constantly point out. People who actually meet Harry and Meghan in real life almost always describe them as warm, kind, respectful, engaging, and thoughtful. Over the years, countless stories have surfaced from staff members, charity workers, event organizers, veterans, parents, children, and ordinary individuals who encountered the couple and walked away with glowing experiences. That consistency matters. There have been stories from Invictus Games participants describing Prince Harry as deeply compassionate and emotionally present. Veterans have openly spoken about how comfortable he makes people feel around him. Meghan, meanwhile, has repeatedly been praised for her attentiveness during conversations, her ability to remember details about people she meets, and her emotional intelligence during humanitarian visits. Even years ago, during royal tours, members of the public often commented on Meghan's warmth with crowds, especially with women and children. There were moments where she crouched down to speak gently with young girls, embraced people emotionally during difficult conversations, and made interactions feel less formal and more human. And that humanity is exactly why moments like the British Airways message resonate so deeply with supporters. It reinforces the idea that the love people feel for Harry and Meghan is not limited to headlines or internet fandoms. It exists in real-life encounters, too. It exists in the smiles of workers who met them. It exists in these handwritten notes. It exists in the emotional reactions from ordinary people who feel connected to their journey. The card itself looked so beautifully sincere. No grand performance, no extravagant spectacle, just genuine affection written across paper by individuals who clearly wanted to make the couple smile. And in today's world, where negativity often spreads faster than kindness, seeing something so wholesome felt refreshing. Social media users instantly began sharing emotional reactions. Many pointed out how meaningful it was to see love coming from everyday workers, rather than staged royal formalities. Others said the handwritten message represented the public's enduring affection for Harry and Meghan, despite years of controversy surrounding them. And honestly, the reaction says everything about the emotional connection people still have with the Sussexes. Whether critics like it or not, Harry and Meghan remain among the most talked about and emotionally impactful couples in the world. Every tiny detail involving them becomes global conversation because people remain fascinated by their story. Their relationship has evolved into something bigger than royal tradition. For many supporters, they symbolize resilience, emotional healing, independence, and the courage to choose happiness despite overwhelming pressure. That is why anniversary moments like these hit differently. They feel like victories. They feel like proof that love survived. And let us talk about Meghan for a second because, wow, people could not stop praising her radiant energy. There is something about her lately that feels lighter, freer, and more joyful. Supporters noticed it immediately in the anniversary clips. Her smile looked genuine. Her laughter sounded relaxed. Her entire aura seemed peaceful. Many fans believe stepping away from royal restrictions allowed Meghan to rediscover herself creatively and emotionally. Over the past few years, she has focused on projects connected to storytelling, women's empowerment, mental wellness, and family life. Whether through interviews, podcasts, documentaries, or charitable initiatives, she consistently speaks about authenticity and emotional well-being. Meanwhile, Prince Harry continues advocating for mental health awareness, veteran support, conservation work, and emotional healing. Together, they have transformed their public identity into something more personal and mission-driven. And honestly, that transformation has fascinated people globally. Some see them as rebels, some see them as modernizers, others see them as survivors. But one thing nobody can deny is this: they refuse to disappear. Even when critics predicted their downfall, they continued building their own path. They created projects, they raised their family, they expanded charitable efforts. They remained visible. And through it all, their bond appeared strong. That is why this anniversary celebration felt so symbolic to supporters. It was not just about another year of marriage. It represented endurance, growth, loyalty, family unity, emotional survival. It represented two people still standing together despite years of relentless public pressure.
And the emotional nostalgia surrounding their early relationship only added more magic to the celebration. Fans began revisiting old engagement interviews, iconic photographs, and sweet moments from the beginning of their romance. Suddenly, timelines were flooded with clips of Harry looking at Meghan with pure admiration, Meghan laughing during interviews, their wedding moments, their dancing, their charity appearances, and those unforgettable public displays of affection that always drove headlines wild. People were reminded once again why the world became obsessed with them in the first place. Because from the beginning, there was always something different about Harry and Meghan. Their chemistry felt unmistakable. Their connection looked emotionally deep. Even during official appearances, there was always warmth between them that audiences noticed immediately. And despite everything thrown at them, that connection still appears intact today. The anniversary celebrations also sparked wider discussions about how modern royal love stories are changing. Many supporters described Harry and Meghan as representing a more emotionally open version of partnership compared to traditional royal expectations. They openly discuss therapy, healing, vulnerability, parenting challenges, and emotional well-being in ways previous generations rarely did publicly. That openness resonates especially with younger audiences who value authenticity over perfection. Instead of pretending life is flawless, Harry and Meghan often acknowledge struggles while still choosing hope. And for many people watching around the world, that honesty feels refreshing. The British Airways message became almost symbolic of that wider public affection. It showed ordinary people celebrating not perfection, but connection. Not fantasy, but genuine emotional warmth. And can we please appreciate how beautifully unexpected that gesture was? Nobody saw it coming. That is what made it so powerful. It was spontaneous, heartfelt, and deeply touching. Sometimes the simplest gestures leave the strongest emotional impact. The signatures covering the card created such a personal feeling too. Every handwritten name represented an individual choosing to participate in spreading kindness. That visual alone made people emotional because it looked like a collective embrace from strangers who genuinely cared. And Honestly, after years of negativity dominating conversations surrounding the Sussexes, seeing a moment focused purely on love and celebration felt incredibly uplifting. Many supporters online even began saying this anniversary proved something important. No matter how much criticism surrounds Harry and Meghan, the love people have for them remains very real and deeply emotional. And perhaps that is exactly why these moments continue going viral. They remind people of hope, of romance, of perseverance, of family, of emotional connection in a world that often feels cold and chaotic. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have become symbols of different things to different people. To some, they represent courage. To others, independence. To many, they represent love surviving under pressure. And during this anniversary celebration, all those emotions collided beautifully. Even the aesthetics surrounding the moment felt magical. The handwritten card, the nostalgic penguin story, the children's excited voices, the warmth from the airline crew. Everything combined into one emotional narrative that felt cinematic in the best possible way. And the internet absolutely ate it up. Supporters were calling it one of the sweetest Sussex moments in recent memory. Others said it reminded them why they continue rooting for Harry and Meghan despite all the noise. Many even described feeling emotional watching how genuinely loved the couple appeared during their anniversary. Because beyond all the titles, controversies, documentaries, interviews, and headlines, people are ultimately drawn to emotional truth. And when audiences see moments that feel authentic, they respond powerfully. That is exactly what happened here. The anniversary became more than just a date on the calendar. It became a celebration of connection, resilience, family joy, public affection, and enduring romance. And the British Airways family unknowingly helped create one of the most memorable emotional highlights of the entire celebration.
Their handwritten words carried kindness that spread far beyond that single note.
Millions of people online saw it. Thousands reacted emotionally. Countless supporters felt touched by the sincerity behind it. And in a world overflowing with negativity, that kind of warmth matters. So yes, wow, 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 wow. What an unforgettable anniversary celebration for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The joy, the laughter, the nostalgia, the family love, the adorable penguin memory, the heartfelt British Airways message, the emotional reactions from supporters worldwide, everything about it felt magical. And honestly, moments like these are exactly why people remain captivated by Harry and Meghan's journey. Because through every storm, every challenge, every headline, and every public battle, one thing keeps shining through louder than anything else: the love they continue choosing every single day.
That's all for now, squaddies. It's your get-to-go girlfriend, Annabelle Karras, and I'm so thankful you joined me today. Remember, stay bold and never dim your shine in this wild and wonderful world. Until next time, just so you know, as your fellow squaddies, I love you all to the moon and back.